How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Dysfunctional Commentary. On this channel, I like to talk about things that are still relatively easy to find and readily available. I don't like talking about things that are long out of print or cost prohibitive. I like to do videos where I discuss some cool collections or interesting sets that I was able to pick up, but I also want people who watch those videos to be able to track down their own copy if they're interested and enjoy it for themselves. I don't really want to do videos where I say, hey, check out this cool thing I got. Good luck finding it. That's not really my style. On today's video, I'm going to kind of break that rule, and I'll explain why later. But first, let's do a little bit of background. Does anybody remember this? Now, this was a pretty big deal when it came out. This was released around 2004, 2005. And this is the Dawn of the Dead Ultimate Edition, released by Anchor Bay. And when they said Ultimate Edition, they weren't kidding around. This was the definitive version to get for Dawn of the Dead. If you were a fan of this film, or just of zombie films in general, this was a must-own. Tons of features, documentaries, transfers look fantastic, and yes, I said transfers, plural, because you got multiple versions of the film. You got the theatrical cut, the European cut, the extended cut, all in one really nice package. Just a terrific release, still highly sought after today. It was that good. So we go into the Blu-ray age, and George Romero's Dead franchise has gotten quite a few really good, solid releases on Blu-ray. Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Night of the Living Dead. This is the one that started it all. There would be no Walking Dead without Night of the Living Dead. Zombies as we know them today is thanks to this film here, and what I'm holding in my hand is the Criterion edition of Night of the Living Dead, by far the version to get if you were a fan of this film. Lots of features, transfers fantastic, no real surprise here. Criterion often knocks it out of the park with their releases, and this is no exception here. The Criterion edition of Night of the Living Dead, just a terrific release. Night of the Living Dead got a remake. It actually has several unofficial sequels and remakes, but it got an official remake produced by George Romero, directed by the master of gore, Tom Savini, and that is Night of the Living Dead. What I'm holding in my hand is a release from Umbrella. Umbrella is an Australian distributor. This is a good one. It's got a good transfer. It's got some good special features on it. And although this is an Australian release and it says Region B on the package, it does play perfectly fine in my Region A player. This one's still pretty easy to find. It's a good one. And I actually really like this movie, although it is definitely a film of its time. It definitely feels like a film from the late 80s, early 90s, but still a fun one to check out. Night of the Living Dead, the Tom Savini remake. For the time being, we're going to go ahead and skip over the original Dawn and go straight to the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead remake. Before Zack Snyder was blamed for ruining the DC cinematic universe, he was directing Dawn of the Dead. And this is actually a really good movie. Not nearly as groundbreaking or anything as the original classic, but still a lot of fun. Zombies now run, so that adds a little bit of a scare factor. What I'm holding in my hand is the Scream Factory release of the Zack Snyder remake. Lots of features here, includes both the theatrical and the extended unrated director's cut. Really good release of the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead. Scream Factory also released Day of the Dead, the third in the George Romero Dead franchise. Another really good release from Scream Factory. Lots of features. Transfer looks great. And actually, this used to be my least favorite of the Dead franchise, but you know, it's grown on me. I really like this one now. The gore and makeup effects in this film are just amazing. They are disgusting in the best possible way. Day of the Dead, just a really great one, and a really good release from Scream Factory. Day of the Dead also got some unofficial sequels and remakes. The less that's said about those, the better. Let's move on. Scream Factory, again, releasing Land of the Dead, the fourth in the George Romero Dead franchise. Another really great release from Scream Factory. Lots of features. Transfer looks really good. And this one, you know, some people like this one, some people don't. I saw this when it was in the theater, and I remember enjoying it, but not so much where I was like, oh, I need to go see that again. But as I've watched it again and again over the years, I've grown to like it. It's hard for me to say, oh, that's the worst of the Dead franchise, because it makes it sound like it's bad. And I don't want to say that any of these are bad. They're all good. I enjoy all of them. I might say this is my least favorite, but still a lot of fun. It's George Romero again, and a good movie, and another really solid release from Scream Factory. George Romero did do a handful of direct-to-video Dead films after Land, but we're going to go ahead and stop with Land. We're not going to really talk about those. Land was really the film that capped off the official theatrically released George Romero Dead films. So we got all of these really cool releases on Blu-ray. Criterion did Night of the Living Dead. Scream Factory released the remake of Dawn, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead. But where's Dawn of the Dead? And Dawn of the Dead has been released on Blu-ray. But where's the Ultimate Edition on Blu-ray? Why isn't Scream Factory or anyone else putting out this? Arrow did put out a limited edition of Dawn of the Dead, a 3-disc limited edition a while back. The first disc was a Blu-ray of the theatrical cut, and then the second and third disc were alternate cuts, but those were both on DVD. So the only disc that was Blu-ray was the theatrical cut, the first disc. So where's the Blu-ray love for Dawn of the Dead? Where's the Ultimate Edition on Blu-ray? We never got that. Or did we? So now we're coming to the actual subject of today's video. And here it is. Zombie, Dawn of the Dead, 4K plus Blu-ray, 6-disc limited collector's edition. This is an Italian release from Midnight Factory, and this is essentially the Blu-ray equivalent of this. So it has all of the alternate cuts. Let's just go ahead real quick and go through what's on each of the 6 discs. The first disc is the 4K UHD disc of the European version of Dawn of the Dead, Zombie, Dawn of the Dead. The second disc is the European cut on Blu-ray. The third disc is the European cut full frame on Blu-ray. That's an interesting one. Apparently that is the first time where it's opened up the full film frame and put that out as a release. So that's an interesting one. The fourth disc is the theatrical version on Blu-ray. The fifth disc is the extended version on Blu-ray. And the sixth disc is all of the special features and extras. This has its own selection of special features. So you're going to miss out on a few of the things that were on this one. It's not a one-to-one conversion. This has some documentaries and some really cool stuff. This has its own set of special features, so it is different. But you are getting all of the cuts. You're getting the European cut, the theatrical cut, the extended cut, all on Blu-ray. So the first disc, which is the only disc that is 4K, the rest of them are just regular Blu-ray. The first one is region free, so all you will need to play that is a 4K player. All the other discs are region B locked, so you will need to have a region free player or some other method of playing back region locked content for those discs, unfortunately. But this is just a fantastic set. The transfers all look terrific. This is as good as I've ever seen Dawn of the Dead look, and just a fantastic release. Now, the reason I wanted to do this video, this is out of print, but I picked up my copy within the past year or something. So it is recently out of print. It's not like it went out of print 10 years ago. I have seen listings online where this is going for a pretty high price. I have also seen listings online where this is going for a very reasonable price. And the reason that I wanted to do this video, regardless of the fact that it is currently out of print, is I don't really even know how many people even know this thing exists. I just wanted to do a video that says, yes, this is a thing. And it's not even possible to go and attempt to look for a good deal on something if you don't even know to look for it in the first place. So I just wanted to say, yes, this is a thing. Dawn of the Dead, essentially the Ultimate Edition, but on Blu-ray, does exist. There are a couple alternate versions of this. There's a Blu-ray, which I believe is just the European cut, also from Midnight Factory. There's also a 4-disc Blu-ray set, which omits the 4K disc and the full frame European cut. But the other stuff is the same. But this is a fantastic set. This is a terrific release. Really great to have this one on Blu-ray. Maybe at some point Arrow or Scream Factory or someone else will put out their own version, which will be essentially the Ultimate Edition on Blu-ray. But for right now, this is the only one that I'm aware of. And it is a really great collection. And if you're a fan of this film, definitely one to try to track down. If you can get and like I said, I have seen listings online where this is going for a really reasonable price. So it is possible. You might need to look for it a little bit. You might need to put some effort into it, but it can be done. And I just wanted to put this out there in case you were interested in it, to maybe keep your eye out, see if you can find a good deal on this one. Anyway, guys, that is my video for today. Just want to do the video on Dawn of the Dead, the Blu-ray collector set. Just a terrific set, Italian release from Midnight Factory. And yes, it is 100% English friendly, but it is a really, really good collection and one to track down if you can find it for a good price. Guys, thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.